Hello, hello. My name is Callista, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. In the last episode, we managed to convince the cultists that we are the Tidebringer. However, now we need to complete the recitation, whatever that is. We've been told we can use the library to prepare, so let's see what we have in here. Excuse me. Those are lockpicks, not a book.
Sure.
Boo, I say. Okay. I'm pretty sure I've read both of these. Yeah, I remember that, the Leviathan. Narcitarch poetry. And I seem to remember this, the expedition. Yoink. The Sea and Her Love, traditional Ondrite hymn. The sea beheld her love, shining bright from on high. She bade him come down from his palace in the sky. Her love could not be swayed, so she took peace into her heart, and all who saw her grief that day sleep in her bosom still. Okay. Abaddon's Hands. Okay. Of all the stories of all the gods, no doubt one of the most charming is the legend of Abaddon's hands. In some cultures, Abaddon's hands are tiny, cheerful creatures that hide in the walls and in the cracks between the paving stones. In others, they are silent men of stone who roam distant lands. In all such tales, however, they are Abaddon's constructs, built in his image to continue his good work of creating strong and wondrous things in the world. Thus, upon spying a mighty mountain peak, or a row of Ardra pillars, or another natural marvel, parents and nursemaids will tell young children that these are the work of Abaddon's hands. Such is the appeal of Abaddon as a deity, as it is through his legend that we recognise familiar shapes in the natural world. Thus, when we see a landform that resembles a colonnade, or an arched gate, or a mighty home, we see a hand and a purpose at work that is not unlike our own. And while Abaddon's own identity as a construct is alienating to some, to many of us, his crude yet practical shape is comforting. While other gods take the form of birds, beast, and sea, Abaddon takes the shape of our most common tools and constructions. His debasement in a body of iron elevates our own works and labours, and it offers us a grand hope. For if a god could rebuild himself out of iron, what wonders might Kith create with their own hands? Selected correspondence of Giftbringer Eden. This is... I think I've read this one too. Yeah, I remember the thing about the toddler's toys being cast into water. Yeah, I remember that. So yeah, I've read you. And then the enigmatic god of cold. Young students are often confused by Berath and Remigrand's seemingly overlapping roles in holding dominion over death. Berath oversees the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Remigrand oversees the cold, destructive act of death itself. This difference is often difficult for novices to appreciate until they've lost a loved one and endured the absence for a time. It is Berath that determines we will be reborn just as certainly as we will die, but Remigrand is the executioner's axe. Remigrand shows us that all life ends in stillness. I need only show them the symbol of Remigrand, the bone-white aurochs skull found carved within the most ancient of Engwithin ruins. It is a symbol of death and doom in every culture. Any child with 4 winters under his belt needs no introduction to the ancient symbol. Remigrand embodies not just death, but all manifestations of collapse, be they famine, plague, or simple bad luck. Remigrand is a primal god, silent and inscrutable as death itself. He makes himself known with his passing, not by proclamation. There are innumerable stories of the god's terrifying passage through the lands of Aora. When the beast of winter stirs, bitter winds and beastly howling follow the creature's every move. Wherever the beast plants a hoof, all life withers into dust. The faithful of Remigrand insist that even another god's life can end in stillness. They claim the other gods must flee from the beast of winter's mastery over death, but we know not if this boast holds true. Though the beast of winter is shrouded in snowy clouds, those who have seen the shaggy white monster claim that the souls of the fallen can be seen clinging, or perhaps frozen, to the beast's fur. The dwarves of the boreal south have numerous stories that tell a similar plot. A brash hero seeks out the beast of winter to rescue the souls trapped in its fur. These tales never end well, for even if the hero saves his beloved soul, the hero dies in the process. For it is not a proper tale of Rowengrand unless the hero's life ends in stillness. Ooh, that was very cool. Okay. I've read this one. It feels like ages since I've had a ton of books to read. Okay, this is new. Look up in the night sky and you'll see the moon Balatha. Ubiquitous and persistent, she remains forever in view but also forever out of reach. What many people do not know, however, is that our world is actually orbited by two moons, Balatha and Caldla. Balatha. Hanging low and large in the sky, Balatha travels swiftly in her race around the world, completing an orbit in about 18 days. This proximity and speed can cause extreme tide conditions in some areas, making the sea shift so quickly and rise so high that there are some beautiful coastal areas that are virtually uninhabitable for a good portion of the year. Before we learn the truth behind the cause of the tides, legend held that Ondra, the goddess of the sea, was in love with the moon, and when she saw it in the sky, the tides, great waves, and violent storms that happened were her attempts to reach it. This is why the moon is formally called Sen Balatha, or Ondran Balatha, the beloved, or Ondra's beloved. Kaldha. 315 years ago, the Grand Empire of Valia suffered from terrible storms and terrifying high and low tides. Records show that the same thing was happening in the Adir Empire and that several new Adiran colonies along the Deerwood coast were completely destroyed by storms and high tides that engulfed the settlements. At that time, during an eclipse, Glanfathan astronomers spotted something small orbiting near the edge of Balatha. After much study, they realised it was a small satellite with an extremely irregular orbit. They called it Kalda Deb, or the Black Runner. Since it is smaller than Balatha, it doesn't have much effect on the world, but when it aligns with Balatha's orbit, it wreaks havoc on the tides and weather everywhere. This happens with an erratic frequency and severity, and have been dubbed lovers' tides. Kalda has been rolled into the Ondra myth, and when they were both in sight, her desire to reach them is increased tenfold, which is what causes the terrible weather. Okay, very interesting, but it doesn't tell me about the recitation. Tides and moons, a natural historian's account. Excuse you, let me read that. Okay, you've all been placed. Here, okay. Where fuck are you? Wherefore? We have all heard the legends of Ondra and Sen Balatha, and the explanation that the goddesses love the moon causes the tides, and, as men and women of science, we know this to be a shadow of the truth. Yet there is another myth that we have been quick to dismiss, and I wonder if it does not merit further examination. Ondrites tell of a smaller moon, Ione Bratha, that the goddess supposedly pulled from the sky in an earlier age, and while such a thing seems impossible, for Ione Bratha still roams the skies above, it is true that explorers in the far reaches have found mineral fragments that do not naturally occur on any known continent in Eora. Furthermore, naturalists in Adir and Rawatai and the Deerwood have observed the remains of ancient ocean life many miles inland. Such a thing would only be possible if Eora's oceans had once been larger, or, as I here propose, if a catastrophic flood had once washed over the continents. While few phenomena could cause a flood of this magnitude, a large body falling into the seas might just do the trick. In these passages, I will explain how some force of nature, if not an amorous goddess, could have pulled a small moon into Eora millennia ago. Ooh. And then just you. The Gift Bearer's Pilgrimage. Okay. Your quest updated. A gift bearer of Ondra is travelling along the road when she meets a man in tears holding a scrap of parchment. Why do you weep? Asked the gift bearer. I hold here a letter from my wife. I tried to be a good husband, but the letter says that I was not, and that she has gone to seek the company of a better man. Now this is all that remains of her. Give the letter to me then, says the gift-bearer, for once you have forgotten the letter, your wife can cause you no further pain. The man gives her the letter and finds his tears have dried up. He thanks the gift-bearer and leaves at peace. The gift-bearer continues on, contemplating the man's story, but does not get far before she encounters an old woman in tears holding a string of beads. Why do you weep? Asks the gift-bearer. I hold here a string of beads that counted the years of my daughter's life. Sickness took her while she was still a child, and she was denied the joys of a full life, and I the joys of a mother. This is all that remains of her. Give the beads to me then, says the gift-bearer, for once you have forgotten the beads, your daughter can truly rest. The old woman gives her the beads and finds her grief no longer gnaws at her soul. She thanks the gift-bearer and leaves at peace. Thinking on the woman's pain, the gift-bearer follows the road until she reaches the sea. In her hands she carries the letter and the beads. They are light in her hands but heavy upon her heart, and she is crying. She prays to Andra to allow the objects to be forgotten, and casts them into the water. And yet, long after they have sunk beneath the waves, the gift-bearer finds herself still weeping. Merciful Andra, pleads the gift-bearer, in your service I have helped people forget their troubles, yet though I pass them on to you, I feel them still as though they were mine. How can this be? The gift-bearer listens to the wisdom of the crashing waves until she understands. To feel the troubles of others in your soul is a burden itself. However, she has no token to give to Andra to bear it away, for the troubles are not hers to forget. I give myself to you then, says the gift-bearer, for once I am in your care, no memory may haunt me. And with that, the tide comes forth and embraces the gift-bearer, and when it ebbs, she is gone. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah?
I can remember that. And if I can't, well, I can always have a look at it again.
They call out sometimes. Even the guards below think it's strange.
For Andra, most like. They surely long for her embrace.
What is this? What is going on below? You may enter, Tidebringer. Okay. Thank you.
Isn't this something?
The Vault of Forgotten Thoughts. Okay.
It's here. The salt well.
Oh, damn. Okay. In the room is a pool. It's small but deep enough that you can't see the bottom. The glassy surface almost looks frozen. So does Maneha. She stands rooted in place, staring at it.
You know, I thought it'd be bigger.
Looks deep anyway, and I thought you'd be diving in by now. What are you waiting for? And I thought you'd be diving in by now. Maneha makes a little noise of frustration in the back of her throat.
You know how when you've been thinking about something so long, you're worried that when you finally get it, it won't be what you expected?
She tugs at one of her bracelets.
I mean, for all we know, that thing's just filled with leeches.
You're stalling.
Don't remind me.
Okay. You were never liable for the massacre you remember. Let go of your guilt. Your memory of the massacre has shaped you. Discarding it may change you more than you intend. Memory is a penance for... Absolutely not. This wasn't Maneha's misdeed. As I said, she wasn't even a fetus. Her grandparents weren't even a fetus. Like, Maneha did not exist at this time. This isn't her misdeed. Memory is a penance for our misdeeds. You have no right to forget that massacre. What if your memory of the massacre has prevented you from committing a similar crime? Your suffering helps no one. Forget the massacre so you can have peace. The problem has never been your memory. It's part of your soul that led you to massacre those people. No, it's fucking not. Do it or don't, but make up your mind. Ooh. This is intriguing. This is intriguing because not Maneha, excuse me, Ximena values her memory. She really values her memory. But she is actively trying to get herself unawakened. She is remembering things that she's like, yo, I didn't do this. This wasn't on me. These aren't my memories. And these aren't Maneha's memories either. They are the memories of someone who existed hundreds of years ago who has no relation to Maneha other than the fact that they share the same soul. But again, it's... The example I keep giving is if you receive a hand transplant and then the next day the police come and arrest you because that hand that you had transplanted onto you, that was the hand of a serial killer, and now you're being charged for the hand's crimes. Like, yes, the hand technically did strangle all of those people, but I wasn't attached to the hand at the time. This soul has done some horrific things, but I was not attached to the soul at the time. This shouldn't be on me. This shouldn't be my responsibility. I shouldn't be charged with killing all of those people just because the previous owner of this hand did something horrific. Maneha shouldn't suffer because the previous owner of her soul did something horrific. I think number one. I find this so strange because Ximena is so attached to her memories because she needs to remember. She needs to remember, okay, what have I told to this person, and what have I told to this person, and what have I told to that person? If she starts forgetting, she's going to end up in a whole world of trouble. Ximena is very attached to her memories, but these aren't Maneha's memories. I think number one. You were never liable for that massacre that you remember. Let go of your guilt.
You're right.
She lets out a long, slow breath.
Okay, here goes.
She shakes her arms and legs out with a jingling of metal. Striding forward, she steps into the pool.
Oh, that's cold!
She convulses with a sudden shiver, rattling her jewellery. She descends the steps until she's standing in the water up to her neck. Do you feel it? Yeah, how much are you forgetting? Hey, what year is it?
Oh, very funny.
She splashes frigid water in your direction.
This is the right pool, isn't it?
She frowns and cranes her neck around the room. Maybe you need to get your head in the water too. Don't look at me. Maybe you need to dunk. Maybe you'll need to get your head in the water too. She gives you a wry, sidelong look. Then she takes a deep breath and submerges. A minute ticks by. 2. Maneha keeps herself still beneath the water. At last she breaks the surface, wiping the water from her eyes and shaking it from her hair.
Hey, gift bearer or not, don't think I won't pull you in here too.
Wait, you said the gift bearers come here. Maybe you have to leave something behind. Her eyes go wide and she snaps her fingers.
I've got it!
She digs through her pack and produces a thick bundle of cloth bound with leather. It's the same bundle you glimpsed earlier. She snaps the leather cord and unrolls the cloth, revealing a wine bottle. Didn't all of this start in a wine cellar? I might be misremembering there. It has been a while, but I swear down she said that she went into the wine cellar of the place that she had took over, and she thought she saw an old woman hiding down there.
Took this from the Marcheso's cellar the night I awakened. Been saving it for a special occasion.
My memory was correct. Ooh, damn. Maneha cradles the bottle and brushes the dust from the green glass. Heaving a sigh, she swigs it by the neck and smashes it against the steps. Like it's old wine. It's old wine. I doubt she's been storing it properly. Oh dear. Maneha drops the rest of the broken bottle into the pool where it spirals into the depths. Meanwhile, the wine has formed a roiling bloody cloud in the water. It spreads in long swirling tendrils. Oh no. Oh no. The surface of the pool ripples and Maneha paddles at the spreading cloud. Crimson tentacles erupt from it, writhing and reaching. Maneha gasps as one wraps around her arm.
Maneha, take my hand!
Ooh. Is this actually part of the thing? We're gonna scream at her, but we're not gonna do anything. Get out, Maneha! Another wine-coloured tentacle wraps around her head. She shouts as it pulls her under. I think this is actually part of it. Maneha disappears into the pool. You can't see anything through the crimson muck, except for the blossoming cloud of wine. The water looks perfectly still again. The seconds crawl by.
Did that thing come from the bottle or the pool?
It could be either. At last, bubbles break the surface. Maneha emerges, gasping and shivering. Her face is strangely slack, and her eyes are bloodshot. What just happened? Are you all right? Let's get... What just happened? She blinks at the cloudy water and laughs quietly.
I forgot.
Maneha climbs up the steps and out of the salt well. As she does, the reddish colour dissipates from the water, leaving only the glassy clear surface and the unfathomable depths below. What do you remember? She squints, thinking. Water pools at her feet.
I remember running, but I don't remember what chased me. And I remember fear, but I don't remember what scared me.
She looks back at the salt well.
I gave something up, but I don't remember why.
Then it worked. I'm not sure this is what you had in mind. How do you feel? Well, I mean, if she's forgotten the thing, then it's exactly what she had in mind. How do you feel? She tilts her head to one side and wriggles a finger in her ear until a spurt of water streams out.
I'll feel better after a glass of wine.
Something drips onto the floor. She holds her right arm up and looks at the trickle of blood running from a cut in her hand. She takes the folded cloth, the one she'd wrapped the wine bottle in, from the floor and stanches the bleeding. Maneha was granted clean conscience. She jerks her head towards the exit. Oh, hello. Get you, liar. A place of great silence. 5 years ago, 12 senior monks of the Ixlochi began a silent pilgrimage into Tetleituan, forbidding hills plagued by severe weather that locals believe are cursed by the gods. The monks were supposed to emerge from their retreat this year, but they have not returned. An expedition of novices into Tetleituan discovered their camp, but they were shocked to find only hollow skin shells of their masters sitting in a circle, frozen in their meditative poses. The inner circle of the Ixlochi theorize that the masters have transcended their previous physical form and may be wandering the eastern reach. They have sent words to various lords in Red Ceres and the Deerwood that the Ixlochi would very much like to be reunited with their masters so that the wisdom can be passed on to a new generation. That sounds like a job for Zawa. There we go. Yeah, Maneha, what is clean conscience? What is this? +2 dexterity. With the memory of her crime erased from her mind, Maneha is finally at peace. She's able to focus on the battles before her, improving her dexterity. Excellent. Excellent. I mean, as I said, Maneha was never the one who committed that massacre. Maneha wasn't the one at fault there. It was someone who was completely unconnected to her, bar the fact that they share a soul. You're not going to arrest someone who's had an arm transplant off a serial killer. I'm not going to punish Maneha for sharing a soul with someone that's done a massacre. It's not fair. It's not right. Like a living prison, thick arms of coral have grown around an assortment of old weathered relics. Ooh.
Hey there.
What is this? Don't mind me. Ooh. Well, hello there. Gwyn was a young woman from Fort Vale who was engaged to be married to a farmer from her village. Her parents were thrilled about the match, yet as the day of her wedding drew nearer, Gwyn suffered from horrible nightmares where she was suffocating. She would awaken, gasping for breath but otherwise unable to move. She told her parents about the nightmares and the horrible weight that seemed to press on her shoulders more and more each passing day. They assured her that the nerves would pass, but they didn't. On the morning of her wedding day, when the sky was still grey and a heavy mist hung over the fields, Gwyn snuck away. She thought a long walk might calm her, but the further she got from Forked Vale, the better she felt. By the time she reached Pearlwood Bluffs, she realised she had no intention of going back. She spent the night at a little roadside inn on the charity of the owner, and after a hot dinner and a good mug of ale, she enjoyed the best sleep she'd had in months. When she awoke, her hostess pointed her to Defiance Bay. She reached the city and quickly found the port. She had nothing of value besides her betrothal ring, which she traded for passage to Adir. Yay, good for her. Good for her, don't mind if I do.
Yeah? Consider it done. Give me a real challenge.
Ooh. St. Weigelt's Cudgel. Okay, it's unique. I was like, is it soulbound? No. No, it's just unique. A strictly devoted follower of Woedica, Weigelt was haunted by dreams of criminals escaping horrific acts of violence, only to escape punishment or receive one that was unduly light. She came to believe Woedica was speaking to her through these dreams, demanding these people receive justice. Weigelt often found these criminals in hideouts and homes, and very often in jail, serving inadequate sentences. She would steal into these places, which were frequently under heavy guard, find her way to the criminal, and pronounce the judgment of Woedica. Her incredible knack for reaching these places were, in some instances, later declared as miracles when she was canonized. If the criminal was lucky, it would only mean disfigurement, but most were executed on the spot with Weigelt's cudgel. Eventually, Weigelt's reputation spread too far, and many criminals that feared her began to set traps and issue bounties. When she was finally caught, she was clubbed to death with her own weapon. It is said that her final words, she declared that she was a murderer and that she deserved this fate. St. Weigelt's cudgel is a simple spiked club with a leather-wrapped handle. The wood itself is irreversibly stained reddish-brown with the blood of criminals. Ooh, nice. That is a very cool story. That was very, very cool. Now that we have a way down. Hall of Silence. Okay, I'm inclined to stay on this layer. Because again, we're allowed to be on this layer. I don't want to piss anyone off. Ooh.
I see where you're going with that. There. What did I tell you?
Ooh, hello. Oh dear. Question, has that tipped off anyone? No one heard. No one heard. Fuck it. Fuck it, no one heard. We're fine. This is probably... Yeah, this is the abbot's quarters, but it doesn't seem like he heard, so we read. Journal of the High Abbot. Don't mind if I do. Okay. Okay, we're gonna run. We're gonna run! We weren't in your room, sir. I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, let's find somewhere. Yeah, I'm gonna go stand here. I'm gonna bring this episode to a close. In the next one, we will read the Abbot's journal, see if that clues us into anything, and we'll go take another look at the mural outside, and maybe we'll have an attempt at the recitation. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. A special thanks to my channel members, such as SM2K, Christopher K. Davis, CGG, and Kevin Bicknell. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.